obviously Rockets fans and coach and myself are always gonna, feel like there was for sure more there in that double-digit leads and 2 elimination games. But I what the coaches and players accomplished this year was truly incredible. And all day, yesterday and today, talking to the players, it's all about how we're gonna battle this back and not have this feeling again and get all the way next year.
Yes.
Open for questions.
How do you improve a 65-win team that gets within a half of the finals?
Win 70 and win the title.
Same, so in other words, same guys, same.
Well, yeah, that's Daryl's question, but yeah, we can not lose 5 in a row during the year and improve on our total and win a couple of closeout games and get to the finals and win it. Yeah, we can do that.
My job is trying to always improve, so I'll be kicking every rock like we always do. But Coach and I have talked. If we have basically this group back, we feel very good about it as well. So the realities of the NBA, we have many free agents. You're not going to have exactly the same group back, but we feel very good about the players in our locker room.
Daryl, what are the challenges of bringing the players you want to bring back, plus adding to the team if you feel need with regards to the salary cap and making it all work?
Yeah, the better you get, the more expensive the team gets, the more cap exceptions go away to help you improve the team. So we'll just have to do our normal job, be creative, and do whatever is possible to try and get better.
Daryl, is there a priority of like one or two of your free agents that you're like, we have to resign?
I can't really talk specifics, but generally we want to bring our free agents back. Yeah.
Daryl, it's this time of the year when you go into the off season, how do you feel going into it? Is it fun for you? Is it stressful? When you have to enter this stretch of, kind of playing Tetris and figuring this all out?
It's good to have you back, Jenny. Welcome back. It's fun. It's a great. Obviously, we're all blessed to work in the NBA every day, and this is the time when we, try to do what we can do to help the coaches and players next year. So this is fun. So.
Daryl, last offseason there was obviously tremendous belief from your group that what you were doing to put the team together could compete, potentially beat Golden State. How has that belief changed at all, gotten stronger, changed in any way?
Well, we feel very good. Obviously we took them to 7. You got to give them credit. They beat us, so you can't minimize that. They have a great team. We have a great team. We're excited to go at it again. And the coaches, talking to Mike the last couple of days and the assistants, there's a better understanding of how, not just against Golden State, but against every team, how we think we can play to be the champion next year.
Mike, generally speaking, what would you say are some things you found out about this team this year, and how much will that help you in prepping to coach the team next year?
Instead of finding out, I think the better word is like confirmed. To confirm that, Chris and James are really good together. Confirm that we added some really good defensive players to the team and we improved our defense. From the All-Star break on, we were 3rd. We should start there next year and keep it there, if not improve it. So that's already, upbeat. Confirm that Clint could get better, did get better, and now it needs to make one more jump. And then they just confirmed everybody's character and the cultures that's in the locker room created by the players and how they police themselves and how they trust each other and how they can get on each other and just have an unbelievably great atmosphere to play, but also to be accountable and to be professional and to be, for the young guys to learn from them, but for them to spur each other on. So there's just a lot of great stuff that was happening all year and happened all year, and we hope that it'll just continue.
Mike, you get close a couple of times in Phoenix, about a decade ago. Obviously, this is the closest you've been in terms of, Game 7.
Right.
4-3, but I mean, did this feel the closest you were to getting to the finals, to having the team that could win it all? And how does that feel 48 hours
It
later?
doesn't feel very good right now, but yeah, we had the same shot, I thought, at Phoenix that we did here. We didn't get to the seventh game, but stuff happens, and it happened, this year, and you can't control that stuff. So you just try to learn from it and get better at it and get our team better. And again, it's bittersweet. We'll take a few weeks to get over it, but Chris and I, and James and I, and those two are talking with the players and setting goals for next year and be sure they're on their summer workouts. And good thing about playing deep in the playoffs, it's not very far away. We'll be gearing back up after a few weeks rest, and individually, summer league's right around the corner, and then they'll be getting together. So I'm really excited. It's really excited. I don't want to get, it's a little early, but I'm excited about what we can do.
Daryl, you and Mike talked all season about clearly that group of players you had was hungry, was focused on trying to get as far as they could win a title. Talking to them in the last 48 hours, what's your sense of where their hunger and focus is moving forward?
I mean, even more. I mean, the emotions were high in the meetings. It was painful for, especially the guys who have been, in the league 10 plus years. They know you don't get many opportunities, and that was a real good one. They're all very hungry to get back and do it next year.
You mentioned that the idea is that would like to re-sign your free agents, obviously first priority. Where does the line get drawn if another potential high-end free agent becomes available and expresses interest in the Dolphins?
Yeah, I mean, my job is to look at everything, and we'll explore that, and we've got our key people with Coach D'Antoni and Tillman and James and Chris, and that group is all, we'll have to be united on going after certain guys. So.
Is it safe to say also that you guys are obviously 65-win season, getting so close to the finals? Is it also safe to say that the philosophy is set? This is how you guys want to play, and this is how you guys want to build your team moving forward.
I think we're going to decide to make threes instead of shoot them.
Yeah.
We kind of left that out, but it's just an oversight. We'll correct it.
To follow Stefan's question, if there is that kind of creative that he's describing, interesting. I'll add interesting. If there is, that would not match with your previous comment about wanting to bring everybody back. If you were to have to create the kind of room for someone who can command a max contract, is that something you've already decided to rule out, given what you said about bringing your guys back?
I think they match. That should tell you something.
Can you do? Is the math? Wouldn't you have to renounce your rights to
Hey
create that
man,
kind of cap?
we have new math. We have new math. We have new math.
Does the NBA know you have new math?
Obviously, the goal was to beat the Warriors, but do you take solace in the fact that, as you mentioned, it went 7 games, it was very competitive, possibly could have won with some help. Do you feel like that uniquely positions you guys this summer to be able to tell players around the league that maybe are suffering from a little Warrior fatigue that this is the place?
Yeah, I think, given the great organization we have, and Tillman's done amazing things since he's been here with upgrades and everything, with our winning, with the stories around the league about our players, our locker room, our coaches, we're going to have the pick of the free agents out there, whether they be the high-end ones or whether they be the Luke Mbamutes or Gerald Greens of this year, where they come in and are really key competitors. So we do feel like we're very well positioned to win the free agency battle, to get over that last hump.
Is there a skill set? Has Clint Capella surprised you in any way in his growth, in how he's grown?
Yeah, I think the main thing that surprised me, and credit to him and his hard work and the coaches who work with him, in that he's gotten better every year. Generally, players will get better their first year, second year, third year, but the leap he took in his fourth year, and new veterans on the team like PJ and guys he's been with before, like Nene, have really, and James and his mentorship of him have really helped him take a leap this year that was needed to get to where we were, but also unexpected.
Is there a skill set you'd like to add to the team?
To the team.
I mean,
You can always.
you always want more.
Yeah,
Two-way
yeah, it's
players.
hard, just guys that can defend and shoot and then make plays. So we're always looking for that.
Guard multiple positions. I mean, yeah.
We don't have any holes, but, there's ways that maybe we'll get better.
Daryl, for you and Mike, since James came back, I mean, he's evolved so much as a player, as an off-the-court leader, on-the-court leader, likely going to win MVP this year. But from your perspective, is there still another, because those greats always find another level, whether it's Michael Jordan or LeBron James, is there still another level the organization sees that he can get to?
Those who have been here past years, which includes you, every year when we have this, we talk about how he adds something to his game and to his leadership. And he did that again, and I fully expected. So last year, he made step back threes, an efficient shot. No one's done that. That was long hours in the gym in Arizona, in LA, in Houston, in Bahamas in the off season. So I fully expect him to add. He's such a student of the game. He's going to add something to his game again, and then the leadership that he's shown to do things like bring Clint along, and the fact that he and Chris were always, side by side in battle together. That's not easy in this league. There are way more examples of two star level players not coming together like that than there are like we had, where they come together and lift us to the place we got to.
Daryl, when did you realize that would be the case? How quickly did you realize these guys would be just the way you described them?
I think Mike could talk, but it was early in training camp. I was telling friends, like, holy cow, we thought it would work, but this stuff's working. I don't know if you want.
No, I'm saying, they decided before they signed, before we were able to trade for Chris, that they decided to make it work. Once they decided then there was a good chance it was going to work, unless their games didn't mesh, and their games meshed because they're so good, both of them smart. So there was no, looking back on it, there was no doubt. There's doubt only because you haven't seen it yet. It's like, but it's like winning a championship. Once you win it, there's no doubt we had it. Well, you always do they have it until you prove it. So more or less on their case, same way.
Tim, I'm sure you've done the projections, the budget projections, if you keep all your free agents, as you mentioned. We're talking with taxes and salaries, my old math would be 200 to 240 million, I'm thinking. Have you got a green light from post hoc to, if you have to set records, go ahead and do it?
We haven't really said, but we're an expensive team, and Tillman's for sure signed up for that.
Go out and eat a lot, rent land and stuff.
Yeah.
That would help. Just a little thought.
That's a great idea. Saltgrass,
Hardly anyone loses money in the casino. So.
Mastros.
Well, don't worry about that. I don't want you to lose your money, but go eat. We'll take care of the high blood pressure stuff later.
Mike, can you talk about, you said it the other night about what Chris is making. One of the things that you and Rant said after the game was how, when they saw Chris coming here, they thought, oh, these two guys are the same, but how it surprised even other teams around the league. When you think about what he means to the team last year moving forward, can you talk about how big of a factor he is for you guys?
I don't think you can measure it, he or James or Clint, or, you go right down, because everybody has a role, and he has a big role. Probably if you had to single out one thing, because they're Hall of Fame players, they're good, they can shoot it, they know they're going to play big in big moments. There's a lot of stuff. His defense is probably, it's not underrated because he's been first team a lot, but how he steals the ball in crucial moments, stuff like that. But his ability to be able to get at halftime and him get on James and push him, or vice versa, that James can get on him and they don't come away with it broken. To me, that's invaluable. There's not a time that if we're not switching properly, or somebody doesn't have the juice, or not playing like 100% locked in, even in practice, it will be said. And it doesn't have to be said from a coach, and so it won't be taken the wrong way or whatever. It's said from a peer that they respect 100%. And that goes, PJ is not letting somebody slide that's not going to be 100% committed doing things. And and it filters down all, to Clint, who, would have a hard time getting on James, obviously, because he's not in that, part, but you learn from that, you watch PJ, and then PJ won't let them slide, won't let young guys slide. If you're late on the training table, you're not late, they won't let that slide, they're talking about it, they're getting them done. So, and that's why the locker room is so good, because it's like a family. They can talk to each other and get them better. If it's time to do some homework, you better go do your homework. Doesn't mean it's a bad family. Somebody's getting on somebody. And we have that. And you can't manufacture, there's no stats for that. And you just hope that works. And when it does, you got to take care of it, nurture it, and make sure we have that, because that's championship material right there.
After all you've been through in the past, I guess since you left Phoenix until now, did you savor this season and what you were able to do and having so much success even more than maybe you would have otherwise?
Oh yeah, no, and that's what I was trying to say before the playoffs even started. I don't think that group should be totally like it depends on the playoffs. Well, we still fell short, and we're all disappointed, and I think we're short of what we could have done. But at the same time, how they treated every practice, every road trip, every game. People don't watch the work they put in the weight room after the games. They're in there after the games. They're working out hard. They're on the training table hours just trying to get ready for the next game. And when you walk through that and you walk through the locker room and see that, I'm so proud of these guys. It's ridiculous. And yeah, I savor it. I mean, this is, when I'm out just reading books or whatever and hanging out, this will be really close to my heart. Now, I'm hoping to replace that with something even better, but it won't diminish what they did this year. We have higher goals. It will not diminish what these guys are doing. And not everybody from this team will probably be part of the higher thing. And so that won't diminish me, who they are and, how they play.
Now, you have been here where it hasn't always been quite this much of a kumbaya family situation. Can you talk about just the evolution and how good it is to have the right mesh in the locker room?
Yeah, it's big. It's when we have a team that's close to winning the title or should win the title. It's very important that every player from 1 to 15 is all focused on the same goal, and we had that this year, and that's something that's very important to us. The years that I think you're referencing, often there were years when after Yao and Tracy were hurt, and we were having to take risks on high upside players, and sometimes it's not always going to be about everyone being kumbaya in the locker room at those moments.
Daryl, obviously, you and Mike, you both taken this hard as evidence about what happened, but, in talking to Chris maybe in the couple of days where he was missing games, and now again in the 48 hours since the season's ended, what were his emotions like in your conversations?
He took it the hardest, I thought, because he knew if he hadn't had the unfortunate injury that he's dragging us the last at the goal line. So I think he took it the hardest.
And he's been there before at those moments and just got injured sometimes, freakishly. Stuff happens. So yeah, he took it hard. But you know what? He'll be back. And he'll be back 100% and we're ready to go.
Daryl, obviously you're trying to win now. If you look at the roster and the guys that are here, and Clint will be 24, everyone else is going to be 29 or older. Is that an area where you feel like you need to get just in a spot a little bit younger?
Yeah, we like to have young players develop, and that's why we put so much priority on the D League. And we generally use the end of our bench a little differently than teams as good as us, in that we are continuing to take bets because we do feel like we need a young player to emerge. So we don't know who it might be next year, but we would like to have a young player emerge and be someone who coach feels like he can play and help contribute to a team. But obviously we're an extremely good team, so that's not going to be easy. It's going to have to be someone pretty good. So, or someone who emerges maybe out of training camp. Yeah, we do feel good about. Our players are in their prime. Can't think of any that are in any sort of like age range where there should be any big decline. We don't have, to your point, a lot of guys in there early below 25 except Clint that should take a big leap forward, but You don't have to take a big leap forward when you win 65. If you win 65, you can win the title. We didn't do it, but that's historically for sure good enough to win, and probably does win with some breaks going our way, or maybe not facing one of the best teams ever. So.
You said earlier, if you feel like you should have won a championship, rather than, obviously could have, it was obvious, but do you feel like now, yeah, you should have won it?
I mean, they're a great team, so I mean, we definitely feel like,
I don't know about shoulda, but coulda.
could have, yeah.
Probably the better son.
Daryl, I'm sure you don't, but if you had a burner account, what would you tweet about officiating in the second half, the start of the third
I get
quarter?
myself in enough trouble with my regular account. I can't imagine my burner account. I can't really comment on the officials. I do think there were many things that could have broken our way in those 2 elimination games where we had a chance to advance, and I think have a real good chance to be the eventual champion. Some 3-point shots going in, injuries, and maybe something else.
Did you check to see if any of those accounts follow you?
I did not, no. I did not.
Mike, you didn't suggest you had a burner account too?
I don't even know what. The wrong generation, man. Wrong generation.
I always wondered why you walk around with the 3 now cell phones?
Just 2. Let's not start rumors.
We're gonna end this now.
It's going down a bad path.
Thank you, guys.
I only have regular accounts, so.
There you go.
All right.
We all good?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks for everything you did.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.